Oh, Mr. Colbert, it is such an honor to think that you could actually be out there listening to what I have to say. So I am going to get straight to the point. Mr. Colbert, my name is Barbara With, W-I-T-H, like the preposition. You can call me Barbara or Babs. You could call me Sunglasses, or you could call me Bubbles. I am reporting to you tonight from Fort LaPointe, my corner of FITZWALKERSTAN. What? FITZWALKERSTAN? Not on your map, you say? Well, maybe that's because the Republicans in Wisconsin took it upon themselves to charge the taxpayers $395 an hour to pay their lawyers to redistrict the entire state in secret. I know, even the Democrats didn't know what was going on, and heaven forbid the pesky public wanted to know. I'm worried though, Mr. Colbert. I think they made a mistake, and I think they accidentally redistricted the whole state over to Michigan, and they've left this big gaping hole where Wisconsin used to be. And that's why I, Barbara With, like the preposition, have come before you and the Super PAC and the Colbert Nation on behalf of all of Wisconsin. Mr. Colbert, never before in the history of the United States of America has a state ever been so ready, so willing, so able, and so happy to make history by conducting what we are from here on in going to be referring to as the mother of all recalls, the recall of Scott Walker. We are going to recall Scott Walker. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Scott Walker is going to go, hey, hey, ho, ho, Scott Walker is going to go, hey, hey. This is what democracy looks like. Never before in the history of the United States of America has a state been so organized and completely well-trained and ready to jump to the recall of Scott Walker. Hey, hey. So, Mr. Colbert, ever since you had on your show the mysterious E. All right, Senator Erpenbach. Ever since you had Senator Erpenbach on your show last February, we have known that you've had your eye on Wisconsin. Now, on August 4th, you ran a little clip, and thank you very much, by the way, because we are in a big fat media lockdown in Wisconsin. You'll have no idea what's going on here. I say it's kind of like a Disneyland in Somalia. It's as bizarre as it gets. So on August 4th, you ran a piece about the absentee ballot application scam that the Americans for Prosperity were doing with the Wisconsin Family Action PAC. And it was great. However, I just had to say that on August 1st, the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel actually ran the story. However, in their story, there was a link to my video that I had posted the day before of me actually calling and talking to the nice lady at the Wisconsin Family Action PAC. Jimmy, can you run the clip?
Your problem then is with Americans for Prosperity.
Well, do you understand though the implication that it has for you? That this puts you in danger as well, as far as that goes, because your return address is on it?
Okay.
And so I think we can clearly see, Mr. Colbert, that you have been the recipient of what we in Wisconsin call the Bubbles bump. And that's okay, because you can thank me later for that. So, you recently ran a story about all of the arrests that have been happening in our state assembly. We can pack a handgun when we want to go watch our politicians conduct business, but if we've got a camera in our pocket, they're not glad to see us. they have been arresting us.
So I'm Officer Dave, the Capitol Police.
Are you filming right now, sir?
I am. Okay, I'm going to ask you, please, to put the camera away.
I appreciate you asking nicely, but it's my right to film up here, so I'm going to continue filming.
Okay. Well, at this time, I'm going to ask you to follow me. You're under arrest for disorderly conduct.
I'm under arrest. Are you filming right now, sir?
Yes.
So you can go into the gallery with a handgun, but you get arrested for having a camera.
You know what you're being charged with yet? No idea. Were you disorderly? No. It's a peach. It's just taking a picture.
Not just a camera, but signs. Signs of all kinds. It started out with protest signs.
Take it downstairs now, please.
What's going to happen if I do that? Because here's
acting
let
like
me
a child here. Okay,
I'm not acting like. Let me comply. Okay? This is a public building. This is freedom of speech. Every Supreme Court ruling has said holding a sign, which is political speech, we have to have free speech in this country. I'm not doing anything. I'm not calling attention to myself. I'm not impeding traffic in the building. I'm not preventing people from coming and going. The building can operate freely and everything. So me holding this sign is political speech. So what you're saying is I can only have political speech on the ground floor. Is that correct?
That's on the Constitution.
The Supreme Court's not going to back that up.
And it turned into people getting hauled out and ticketed for holding constitutions. And then they had signs stating the amendment that allowed them to hold the sign, and they got arrested for them. People have been arrested, and I'm not kidding. Apple pie. Jesus. A guy got arrested holding an American flag. Somebody got arrested for holding a picture of a Jesus with an American flag. Someone got arrested for having a lanyard around their neck that had a cross on it that said love sign. They got arrested. Wisconsin has turned into a police state.
What is this? Are we creating jobs here?
Lots of them.
Is this job creation?
This is a camera right here.
That's what they tell me.
That's what they tell you. So you're allowed to film in the gallery.
I'm allowed to film my actions as an officer.
And I'm allowed to film my actions as a
No matter
citizen.
where I am.
And I'm allowed
No,
to
sir.
film my actions as a citizen in an open public place where government officials are conducting public business.
You might be right.
It is a constitutional right.
Anything you say.
It is a constitutional right. Do you understand that, sir?
And what's happened is we actually have no fourth estate. In fact, the people on the ground in the press who are actually reporting the truth are getting their press passes revoked. One of our photographers was slammed to the floor.
What is your badge number, sir? What is your badge number, sir? I'm asking you your badge number, sir.
If you don't
Whoa! Sir! Don't touch me!
Stand up right now.
Many of us have been manhandled. The rules change every day depending on how they feel. I myself never got arrested for it, and I don't know why. I don't know why I'm not arrestable, but I was holding this sign up, and you know why I didn't get arrested? Because it was during the time on the assembly floor when the Democrats had come out with a resolution asking the Republicans to stop having a police state.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members. I know the hour is late and that we're getting ready to wrap up the day's proceedings, but I think it's worth taking a couple more minutes just to talk about one of our most elemental freedoms in this country, which is the freedom to assemble and the freedom of speech that we enjoy under the U.S. Constitution and the state constitution. I want to thank my colleague from the 78th for bringing this privileged resolution forward and the importance that it means, not only in terms of what it represents, but in terms of what it means in the day-to-day operations of the Capitol. We've seen extraordinary times this session where not only rights in the workplace were trampled, but oftentimes people felt like their First Amendment rights were trampled, their rights to be heard were trampled. And no doubt we raised the controversy to new levels that people never thought they would see in this building in terms of the number of people who came here to protest their government. And it seemed that we had moved away from the idea of keeping people out of the building. We had a court resolve whether or not there needed to be metal detectors. We moved away from having days where we need to drag our desks outside of the Capitol windows to meet with constituents. We moved beyond those most tensions of times that were here in February and March. But it has been a perennially disturbing thing in this gallery to watch citizens sitting quietly, wanting to watch and record for posterity the proceedings of this chamber be forcibly and physically removed by law enforcement. That gives me pause, and I hope it gives us all pause.
And the Democrats, as they brought this forth, Mark Pocan and all the ones who signed on to support our First Amendment rights, fought for the First Amendment, and the Republicans said no. The Republicans told us they were too busy working on laser-sharp focus on jobs, jobs, jobs to deal with our First Amendment rights.